It's my mother's lungs. It feels unreal to contemplate on this day, August the 25th, 2022, 5 days after my daughter Ava's 9th birthday. I find myself not only being rejected by my daughter, having never harmed or even raised my voice at her, and left in an emptying apartment in Poland. As I stare at her Christmas and birthday presents, cards and gifts from different times, rejected by mother, and the prospect of a foreign prison cell through lies she's concocted here in Nazi Gorzów, Poland. My son and I have been given only 2 hours a month, with half of that time stolen. My daughter runs from me in fear since New Year 2022. When I return from an unlawful prison sentence, if I do, side note, I came back to Scotland and campaigned for fathers. And failed, and continue to fail, because there's nothing set up for fathers and their children. My daughter runs from me, and it's the worst feeling in the world. In this same state of mind, the children are forced to do what they're told. This is Halo 4, yes. It's no secret that the mother of my children is a child abductor, liar, cheat and child abuser. It's court documented. Yet to gain assistance to continue the abuse is quite simple. Having 1,000 female feminist charities and not one for father or children. Women are almost financed to abuse kids. Please don't feel you have to believe my words. Look at the evidence being ignored. There's no such thing as true and false. Not when you're in some fascist Nazi land. Her abuse and lies are documented by Police Scotland, by Gorzów courts, by most people that have been to court. I'm not a stalker. I'm not an abusive man. I guess I can be from time to time these days because I'm losing the plot, because you are abusing my children. Any parent in the world know this is child abuse. This is how you gaslight a father. You constantly assist a child abuser. You're constantly assisting the abuser. I'm not and never have acted criminally and caused intentional pain to anyone. I don't go out my way to cause people pain, fear or loss. Not to any person. My ex-nun mother, the mother of my children, has made false allegations, and this has been proven, and they've been the most serious of allegations. She has been caught out by the police, by the court, by Edinburgh, by Gorzów. She admitted her allegations of assault, physical, sexual nature and mental abuse was a story fed by Edinburgh Women's Aid. Police Scotland, police constables do not only deny this, remember, she sat in front of these police constables and gave stories of being sexually and physically assaulted every week. Who can do that? Who in their right mind can stand in front of the police and say that your ex-partner sexually assaulted you continuously? And later, years and years after ruining your life, losing any respect to gain employment, and now losing all the ability to have any employment in Scotland. It took years for her to stand in court and appellate court and say, no, he didn't rape me. This was a story given to me by a funded feminist charity called Edinburgh Women's Aid. Edinburgh Women's Aid told me to say I was raped. They're funded by the Scottish Government, but they told me to say I was raped. This is court documented. Do not shoot the messenger. This is court documented. Edinburgh Women's Aid advises women to lie about being raped and assaulted. This is funded Scottish charities of the leftist, hatist, child abusist women. And they're funded to abuse. Please tell my children I love them. I face a prison sentence if I go to see my children. I can't go to see my children because I don't have a penny in the bank. I don't have a penny in the bank because fathers are led on a little road towards suicide. I can see any woman in this town, no matter which position she's in, alcoholic, drug addict, businesswoman, anything, she'll be getting looked after by the state. If she decides she wants to go to a charity which is funded and can give her every piece of advice to wreck a father's life and ruin children, she can get that in Scotland and the UK. She can get that in Poland and anywhere with a Catholic church building. What is Gorzów Wielkopolski? The battle of the beasts, the profane cults, child abusers, fascists. Profane clergymen and abandoned lawyers of a Gorzów fascist town stick at nothing to gain their own vile ends. Falsehood, flattery, slander go hand in hand in Gorzów Wielkopolski, town of fascists, liars and child abusers. There's no one infiltrating their land. They've been infiltrated by the fascists and Nazis. These are child abusing Catholic cult members. And as it is in the power of every villain to propagate falsehood and lay the heaviest charges against the noblest characters, sinful desire to please men makes many to no purpose and contrary to their own conscience. And injure the people of God by secret springs God sometimes restrains the most easy and selfish. The most easy and selfish. My ex-partner had everyone assist. Started with a company called Troax Safety, a safety company, Troax, in Poland. The manager of Troax threatened me, physical violence. He threatened physical violence in a personal capacity, and that's when I stopped using any Facebook Messenger after being threatened by a Troax manager in Gorzów Wielkopolski. I believe my ex-partner has been round many of the managers on this company. I was threatened by Troax, by the owner of Troax, to be taken to court in Poland and sued because I was saying that Troax was supporting a child abductor who abused, abducted and continues to alienate children. This is 100% court documented fact. This isn't something that just needs a little evidence. The evidence has been sprinkled all over Gorzów, but you wouldn't think any prosecutor or policeman ever heard that. You wouldn't think any female feminist lawyer would have heard that. The prosecutor in Gorzów dragged me off the street in Gorzów and threw me in a prison cell. I was called a terrorist that day. My children were taught to hate me and fear me that day. This is what goes on in Poland. This is what goes on in any fascist land where Catholics rule. They're abusing their children. They're abusing their children every day. My son and daughter haven't seen me for a couple of years at least now. And they're afraid of me. They're afraid of half of their biological makeup. My own son and daughter are afraid of half of their own biological makeup. And as my mum struggles in with a walking aid and breathing aid, never getting to see or know her grandchildren, can she also be called the rapist, the child abuser, the criminal? Because when my dad was dying of cancer, and I let the court know, I let my ex-partner know and her family know, her mother, Babcia, and her sent me a message to say, we believe you're lying that your dad is stage 4 cancer. And now my mum, 15 years on, struggling, over 10 years on anyway, struggling, every part of her body dying. And I would replace her position for my position in a second, because I want to die. And sometimes I feel my mother's got reasons to live, purpose to live. Then people tell me, Joe, you've got the very same purpose. You've got 2 children that need you. And as human beings, we know that to be true. As parents, we know it's 100% true. But in Poland, an entire country of people abuse and make money from child abuse. It's an American business model. It's $1 billion American business model. So let's go back to these infuriating, compliance, regulating, authoritarian, fascist system abusing my children, Ava and Matthew, in Poland. Because that's what it is. It's ongoing child abuse. Whether it's from Troax, the businesses, whether it's from Jana Pavlova, the Catholic Church that is assisting in the abuse and the alienation and on the abduction, or it's our Babcha and Jadek, the granny and grandpa, the people that I had to turn to try and speak to. Now, I understand it's a lot in my fault because I didn't learn the Polish language. It's not an easy language. It's not an easy language. English is sprayed everywhere around this world. It's the #1 language for singing or music or movies, and every bit of vile propaganda we have is mainly in English, you know. I don't want to continue. I've been bawling my eyes out since last night. And I know I might need mental help to some of you. I might just be broken and stupid, unworthy. But I'm a man and father, and I'm willing to do what it takes to be with my children. I just don't want thrown in a prison and treated like a terrorist. Is that too much to ask, Poland? Every person that's ever had a relationship understands that this is criminal. If you're a parent, you understand that this is a crime. To have your children taken away, proving that you're not the rapist you were called, proving that you're not the abuser you were called. It's court documented that she lied and she was fed this story. And continually fathers suffer. I had a message this morning at 4:30 from a father who was going to kill himself last week. He said, Joe, I'm safe, I've packed my bag and I'm leaving to go up north 5:30 this morning, because it's either that or swinging by his neck. And you know people in Glasgow all over this place are swinging by their necks. Fathers swinging by their necks. And I'm sorry if the puppet show understands, man. Hi there. I'm sorry you're facing this. Mothers and fathers facing the idea that hanging themselves is going to be the best option, that taking their life is going to be the best option. And Polish people separating their children know that this is child abuse, because they want money for the children. Half of who that child is, that's what we have to hate. Half of who the child is, and the mother teaches that. Believe me, fathers teach that too. Drunken, foolish, little effeminate men. They're not fathers. And believe me, these women aren't mothers. Abusing their children. Bro, women are being bastards. I was here and still am. I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm sorry you're put in this position. I'm sorry that they make this a normal thing for fathers in the UK. I'm sure you would see that the suicide rates for fathers in the UK are higher than anywhere else at the moment. And in Scotland and Glasgow particularly, the suicide rates for fathers are through the roof. But the big trouble here is junkies. The big old trouble here is socially accepted junkies created by doctors and created by the state, because we have free prescriptions. That means we get free drugs from the pharmaceutical monsters killing our children, killing every one of our people, and shut down our countries in 2019 and gave every one of us some medical soup if you weren't smart enough to avoid it. Your children didn't have the right and didn't have the necessary minerals to understand what was going on, like many of our good people out there. Many pilots tried to stop me from flying because I didn't do PCR tests. Many pilots tried to stop me from getting on my flight because I wouldn't wear a mask. Many pilots try to stop me from flying, and airports try to stop me from being able to travel. My human right, the abundant human right to travel from this place to that. They tried to deny me that during that 5 years of hate. That's when they managed to wrestle my children away from me for good. That's how they managed it. When they shut down the countries, I know many mothers and fathers and children, 100% of children went without a parent because of one nasty little beast, one little Freemasonic church attending low-life liar, which he's got a new boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever friend he's got, and a little feminist beast. Thanks for saying well said and all of that stuff, but the thing is, people don't highlight channels when it's about child safety. People don't highlight channel these fathers, right? Because there's loads of these, and I know loads of fathers doing this same thing, and they're doing this very same thing just to keep their head straight and have a purpose in the morning. I am banned from working. I built a $1 million business on my own in a foreign country, but I worked my backside off, and now I'm blocked from working because the Attorney General deals with the UK and goes between dealing with the King Charles. If any of you believe this man's your king, then you're at fault. These rancid little child abusers littered through our countries. We know they're abusing children. We've knew for years what they've been doing to your kids, and we're doing nothing about it. We keep saying historical child abuse when child abuse is happening today. Keep using the same old patter from the same old Freemasonic Catholic cult members, the same old child abusing Eastern Star. All of these organisations, fraternities and sororities are there to assist and abuse children. You need to calm down, mate. Good, that's your opinion. I need to calm down. Children are being abused and you do nothing. You need to do something, mate. You predator. No one would trust you, SC, scum. Now, for people that don't get mad when children are being abused, something is mentally wrong with you. If you want to say something's wrong with me, that's fine, you little low-life scumbag. But anyone coming against me, I'll give you my name, I'll give you my address, I'll give you my phone number. You come along to me and you speak to me face to face. We don't need to be big tough men, but if it comes to it, then let's talk this one out seriously. Anyone not speaking about the ongoing abuse of children and try to make it seem historical is a predator. They're normally Catholics. They're normally within these buildings that rape and abuse, move children around different countries. Part of Freemasonic groups, part of Eastern Star feminist groups, part of the Freemasons, the Jesuits. You know who you are. Think I would rather a beer in a chat. And lots of us need to chat because children are being abused. Now, I have been a drinker. I am from Scotland, but I've not drank for years. I think alcohol's your biggest number one problem. I could walk to get funded right now and get a bottle of Buckfast, but I can't go get funded and get a job. I'm not allowed to get funded and get a job, but I can go and get money and get Buckfast funded by the government in this town and this council will fund me to drink constantly all day today. They'll fund every drug the government, the doctors want to give you because they'll fund my pharmaceutical mates, and then you get little rats coming on here telling you to calm down, using profanities, bad language, the F's and C words, total scumbags that endanger the life of children because they're quite happy to allow these Catholic cult members just free reign in child abuse. SC sounds like a non-sympathiser. He does. SC is a non-sympathiser. He's made that pretty obvious that he does not care about the safety of children. Obviously he's a non-sympathiser, but we don't discriminate against non-Cs, against lesbians, against trans. Firstly, trans isn't a real thing. Scotland has ruined its children by what we've done here. The reason that we want to get together and speak as fathers is because we're giving social groups a hammer and a piece of wood. Whereas we need time with our children. People are out here and they're gaslighting fathers to kill themselves. That's what they do. They gaslight fathers so fathers kill themselves. There's more funding into the destruction of fathers and children's lives than there is funding in any other part of children and fathers funding through councils or government or any of this stuff. Now we know that feminist fanatical charities, we know immigration charities, those are funded. These are beasts who are funded. They're funded to break down the fabric of our society which we have built up over decades. Over centuries, we've built this fabric of our society up, and it's been torn apart by the Catholic Church since the 1800s. You know that they've been raping kids since the Reformation. But they've now got in every single government in every country in the world and infiltrated and created Freemasonic organisation, Eastern Stars, and little cults. Sorry if that sounded like a profanity, but it wasn't. But children are being abused through all of these. There's a network where children are taken through. There's women that are abusing children. My ex-partner is part of this cult. She's a child abusing feminist lowlife. She's admitted to the lies by a feminist cult who fed her the lies. No one ever denied any of that, and it's court documented. Now, it doesn't matter if you want to spin yourself around and say that's true, this is true, but a minute ago I was calling you an F and C and not giving rights to children. Now I'm playing the good guy. You're a predator. I know this place is full of police watching what Joe's going to say next so he can come to his door and threaten him, but I'm not saying anything that's going to put me in a position where I feel threatened by you, the predatorial scumbags raping, abusing and making predators in the Catholic Church feel safe, while they're putting priests who rape children in different countries in safe houses in our countries. And you know that, and if you don't know that, it's your fault and you're the idiotic fool which is endangering your own children's lives. Now, how do I know this? I was in the Catholic, I was born a Catholic. I went to the Catholic Church St John's down the road. I was a Eucharistic minister. I had to sit and learn how to do this stuff. At any point did we read the Bible? No. You don't read the Bible in the Catholic Church. That's a priest's job, and he becomes Jesus for some reason at that point. The whole thing is madness. It's madness, and it's a cult, and they abuse children. And right now, the Polish country, 95% Catholic cult, not any immigration, totally looked after. Why? Because they rape and abuse kids. They revere the abusers. They revere the predators. For us to be knocking down statues of Churchill and people that have... the UK built this world. We built this Western world, and we're tearing it down and being embarrassed about it. Me, as that Catholic, as that fake Irish Celtic fan, been brought up in this UK, I didn't respect what I had by the UK. I didn't respect anything I had. I was actually taught to hate people in my street because they loved the Union Jack, they loved the St George's flag, they loved the St Andrew's flag. I was taught to hate from a young age by the Catholic Church, as if it was normal. And while they're doing that, telling us we're half Irish because our grandparents are half Irish because they had to come here, because the Catholic Church done it in Ireland. And they gaslight everyone, every decade, spinning it, and then going for you while raping your kids. And we still pretend we don't know they're doing it. We still pretend we don't know that they're the ones that own every fraternity, every sorority, every single place in a university that has a campus. And you know that that's where the special ones get broken into our society. That's where they're taught. Jimmy Savile was taught. Jeffrey Epstein were taught. Jeffrey Epstein from a very early age was taken in by predatory royal family members and taught to be the scumbag that he was, using children as leverage for business deals. He wasn't just that predator that raped kids. He used children as leverage for business deals for the Crown. You know that, don't you? The Crown. He used it as leverage for business deals. That's what children were. They weren't just him taking them and bringing them from place to place while they were being raped. It was leverage, it was business. They were the money. And that's why my children are taken to Poland by the same Catholic cult, through the same Eastern Star child abusing lowlives in Poland, Gorzów Wielkopolski. They're abusing children. We're ignoring the abuse of children. Farther all round the world, Epstein's alive, Epstein's dead. Who cares? Epstein's a character. Epstein's a character who was used and abused from an early age. And right now, we have the same characters who get paid a pittance, 27 grand a year starting wage. They call them police. We're supposed to trust in these people, and they've now become the most untrusted villains in our land, along with the MPs. Now we have our streets awash with illegal immigrants. I'm happy to have Sergei, my next door neighbour from the Ukraine, a nice man, a nice family. I'm happy to have Nyasha from Zimbabwe, my other next door neighbour up the stairs. These are legal migrants in this country. They're having to pay and work their way. Now, they're not going to the city centre and having everything funded for them in Glasgow and every other city centre in this town, where fathers don't have a penny to buy food. They don't have any means to see their children, and no one's going to fund any method for that to become a reality. We can blame Masons all day, but Freemasons still suffer this. Jesuits still suffer this. It's the vast majority of us that suffer this. You know, you can be one of your wee Freemasonic types. You can think your brotherhood supports you. You can do the most disgusting thing. You can sacrifice a friend or family member, and then you cannot get what you are supposed to get for that sacrifice. This town murders children, family members and friends, and they're offered the sacrificial lamb. And what do you get for the sacrificial lamb? Well, you tell me. Because right now, my children are that sacrificial lamb. And Gorzovil Kapolski, no one cares about fathers, and that's why fathers here are taking their lives every day. An 800% increase on the mother. I don't want to see a single mother commit suicide. That's wrong. And it's the same for a father, but they're not even considered parents. And they're not considered parents because we don't fund the rights for any father, the rights for any child to be together ever. Never have done, never will do. If we fund anything, it's going to be a YMCA for very strange people that tend to murder. The YMCA, it was set up the very same way for strange people to go about murdering people. Right now, the immigrant hotels are set up the very same way. Got 1,500 I can borrow. I got 1,500? I don't even know what that is, man. I don't need to borrow nothing. It's nice to see people asking me out there, coming on here, and asking, trans education for minors is widespread in the largest scale. And in Scotland, we are the predators, along with Canada, Australia and New Zealand, which pushed this. Now, we pushed this in those 4 countries because we have got historical child abuse. We abuse children in the family in those countries, in Australia, in New Zealand, in India, in Scotland, in the UK, in Canada. We abuse and rape children. Now, that's why we set up the Eastern Star. That's why we finance little Freemasonic cults, and they will never shut down. That's the oldest business in your society. Right now, it's the oldest business in my town as well, the 307. It's full of very nice people, and then a percentage of predatorial lowlifes. Now, you need to know every one of those half-decent guys keep their mouths shut. Yes, I'm aware that many don't know what's going on, but they've got an idea of what's going on. We should start a page, bro. I have lost my kids. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. From fraud. Father needs to unite and start something big. Now, for fathers to unite, we need funding. Now, you know that there's 100 charities out there for women and mothers. Now, even for female refugees, even for non-British women, and there's female charities funded for just Muslim women, and there's not one charity for a father and children. There's every kind of, you name the flavours. There's more flavours of chips and crisps than there is for female charities than there is for any man's charity. And men should be funded in a very similar respect, and men should be considered fathers too as soon as they become parents. That's what they are, they're fathers, they're parents, and they're as worthy as a mother. But the sad thing is, in Gorzov Wielkopolski, although I'm talking like it's only fathers suffering there, my very, very good friend is going through this very same thing. And she has had her children stolen by the father in Gorzov Wielkopolski. Now, it's always the same. This guy has a closer relationship with the church, and the woman, his mother, is in Eastern Star, and his ex-partner doesn't go to a Catholic church, so her children are abused by the Catholic church, and she's gaslit every single day to commit suicide the same as the men. This is a Polish mother, and again, this is why I do have Polish mothers support me, and I have fathers from Scotland reaching out to me to attempt to make me feel suicidal and kill myself. So I do have fathers and men here who are little effeminate beasts, and I do have female friends in Gorzhov who are strong, willing mothers. But we know that most of the mothers in Gorzhov, sadly, are willing to take a handout to abuse their own children. And I know this because I forgave one. After 5 years of child abuse abduction, I forgave her in court, and she done the whole thing again. Please oil up, don't yap. Please oil up, don't yap. It's a bit rainy today. You're saying about me oiling up. These are just freaks and predators out there. Now, being slagged by idiotic little boys who are more than likely sitting in a police station figuring out between their friends, what can I write next to try and hurt this father's feelings? You've got no chance. Not only, you wouldn't have a chance sitting in front of me right now. You wouldn't have a chance over this. Writing things on this, you don't have a chance. I can block you at any point, but I don't block anyone. I know you're saying that she is a narcissist. I know my ex is a narcissist, but narcissist isn't strong enough a word to explain what my ex-partner is. She would go through your own, she would take anyone, any way possible. She'll use any means, any lies. She'll exploit anyone in any way. And this is why I know the company Troax and the men that worked there, I know they were lied to. But she's so believable. I mean, I wanted to believe that she didn't abduct and abuse and lie and say the things that she actually said to me while in court. I wanted to forgive her. I was seeing this beautiful other lady because I'd been separated for 3 years, and I dropped her in an instant just to be with my ex and my child. I dropped her like that, and that made me an utter bastard. It's the worst thing I've done in my life to anyone. It's the worst thing I've done to anyone. Was drop them the way I dropped that girl. It was a great-hearted woman and a beautiful mother. Now, I'm not saying I'm anything special, but I've got no right to treat anyone like dirt. I can look back and say, at least she's always had her children, she's always had her partner, she's moved on, she's always been able to get work, get a job. She actually spoke to me about Women's Aid in Edinburgh, the same Women's Aid, and she used to tell me how they tried to get her to be an absolute bitch mother, but she refused to be a bitch to the husband or to her ex-partner. And I'll always have a place in my heart for this woman. And she hates me, and that's she's right to hate me. She's got every right to hate me. But as Christians, we're taught to love and forgive, and not hold on to that anger and hate. And right now we're taught to hate everyone from the get-go. Many who have been once terrified by convictions die slave to their losses. Never will the enemies of good be able to prove their insidious charges against horrible man, his firstborn, my only son, a conscience void of God, shameful, fascist heathens manifest more regard for their child abusing actions than a father can get for the anger written over his face. I'm angry every day. I say the wrong things to the people I love every day. For those that support me every day, I say the wrong things. I know many people on here are the same people as yesterday who are trying to get me to feel rotten about myself. You can't do that. I feel sorry for you because I know I'm in you. I know I'm part of you. I know what's going on in here is as messed up in your head. I know you need love, sympathy, support. I know you need connection with other humans. And I know right now most of you don't have that connection. I know you're looking on this YouTube just to find something to connect with, something that feels real to you, because right now on a Monday morning you've got nothing. And many men out there have got nothing to turn to, they've got nowhere to go. They can't go and get a job. They're not allowed to open a company because of false allegations made by the same person abusing your children. And you don't think that's gaslighting? You don't think you're gaslighting fathers every day to commit suicide when you walk into your own child's bedroom and you look in their bed and they're not there? Does anyone else have a bedroom with their son and daughter's bed in it that's never been moved from their bedroom for the last 5-6 years, and they walk in and they break down and cry, seeing where their son and daughter once lay? Does anyone else do that? Does anyone else walk into their bedroom which has been void of their son and daughter for 6 years that they've never seen? Does anyone walk in there and think, will anyone ever help fathers? Because I do. I walk in there and I break down. That was where my son and daughter were abducted from for the 3rd time. And then on the 3rd time it was my fault and no one helped. The first 2 times the Scottish government, the UK government helped. The 3rd time it was that. You forgave the child abductor and the child abuser in court. That was your own words. You forgave her. How can you forgive someone? How can I not? How can I not forgive someone and move on with them? And that's what's used against me. That and extra false allegations after we know she's used the most serious false allegations. You still believe her? You still support her? No! Female charities are funded. Feminist child abusers are supported. In every civilization, this is the end. And I know many Christians believe that it's going to be the end this month. In the next 2 weeks, many Christians believe, in the next 4 weeks, on my birthday, people believe that there's going to be a rapture. Now I can only tell you, this is the Kali Yuga. If any of you are Indian, if any of you follow different belief systems, in every belief system this is the end. Now I'm not saying the rapture is next week. As it says in the Bible, no man knows the day or the hour. No man knows the day or the hour. You can guess as much as you like. But every single system, every single religion, everything that's ever operated said this is the end days. And right now we're raping and abusing children the same ways we did in Egypt. The same ways we did in Babylon, burning babies and killing babies and raping babies. We're doing the same 2025 years later. 5,025 years later. But who knows, my times are off. I couldn't tell you what day it is. Although I did manage earlier. It's the 1st of September. I was given a birthday card last month. It was the first birthday card that I'd received this year. But it wasn't my birthday. But it gave me the knowledge that someone there thinks about me. It told me in no uncertain terms, this person loves me. No matter how little I might think about them at times, no matter how much I think about them, all the time. When we give a little action of love, or we show that we care, it means so much more. And just to have someone to stand by you and say, I've got your back, Joe. I'm going to shout out to your children in Poland, Joe. I'm going to contact this Polish embassy, Joe. No matter where it is in the world, Joe, I'm going to give them a call, Joe, and say, I know about the Gorzów-Wielkopolski child abuse scandal. I know about children being abused in Poland by the Catholic cult members. I've got Muslims in my family. I've got Christians in my family, Catholics in my family, and 2 men wearing a skirt in my family. I have a beautiful mother and father. My father's passed away at the age of 64, taken with cancer in a few weeks. Not that we know that is not something that the government gives people to take their lives. My son and daughter, when they were allowed to smile. my brothers, my family. If you want to fight me, if you want to hate me, feel free to go ahead. If you want to try and slag me off, put me down, or bang to rights, you've got the right to do that. Joe, I know it hurts, but we need to stay strong and get back up and fight for our children, bro. I've done this now for 12 years. I've lost my fully paid, mortgage-free home, and she had nothing to do with paying the mortgage. She had nothing to do with getting a house. She didn't want to live in Glasgow, she wanted to live in Edinburgh, so we lived in my flat in Edinburgh. I don't have my flat in Edinburgh. I don't have my house fully paid, mortgage-free in Glasgow. I've got emergency accommodation that was given to me after I won the court case because Royal Bank of Scotland stole my house and sold it within 5 days while I was in court in Poland. I came back on the day they sold it. The Royal Bank of Scotland. I just hear rubbish about Rapture. I spoke about the Rapture for approximately 50 seconds, numbnuts. If you want to say you only heard this or only heard that, Bolt, you rocket. You're just a predatorial type, obviously not a father type, obviously a bit of a scumbag type, obviously a weirdo, but we need to show love to these weirdos because you've got as much chance as me in this world. In fact, the weirdos like you, you've got a little bit more. The world is ending in 4 weeks apparently. What are you talking about? Some people are saying that, my friend. Now, our relationship could end right now, and it would just take me bringing this down and blocking you, but I'm not going to do that because we've always got opportunity as human beings to be nice to one another, to do the right thing. You can speak candidly and be a decent person. Now, the main message or topic was child abuse, you little scumbag. I don't want to be the person that spots you and drags you by their hair and just gets angry shouting at you to snap out of it and become a man and be a father. But sometimes men have to do that. You notice the same police coming on when their shift starts? I've noticed your shift has started. Don't worry, I know this is when your shift starts. And I know you're a wee scumbag, fake policeman. Look who we have here. This is the same police guy that's on every Monday. Never the smart man. There you go, there's your Buddy Dharma type. I'm communicating, you are telling people on the internet the world is ending. You can tell people what you like, you little rat. But if you get near children or make children feel in any way uneasy or unsafe, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. And you know, you have to hide behind a fake profile, not showing your face because you're a little coward. You little predatorial coward. Now go away and say what you like. I've not blocked you. Go away. You can come back next time. Little coward. Now what we know is the little feminist is an ignoramus. She is the victim. My children of the abuse. She's a fascist, child abusing, victim playing feminist, child hating child abuser. A child hating child abuser. Now I know there's some fathers come on here today. They've asked about setting up fathers groups. This is going to be ready as a video in about 24 hours. I'd like you to put some comments on the actual video part, Kevin, if you really want to get in contact and you want to try and work something out. I'm going to be making my way to Poland and I'm looking to video the experience. And I want to have someone video my experience going to Poland because they're going to just arrest me again and take my phone, and if someone's there to document that, I'm happy for them to take me because I think they want to kill me. I think they want to kill me in a prison. I've already been told by some Polish men that have been offered money to hurt me. In Poland, in Gorzów. And I thank you, Zizek, for telling me this. And I understand that there's many Polish people who will tell you the right thing, who will stand up for you in court. And I'm talking mothers and fathers. I'm going to Poland because that's where my children were abducted to. My children were abducted from Scotland to Poland. The DAIU, the Domestic Abuse Investigation Unit, assisted, the Police Scotland assisted the abductor in abusing and abducting my children. Heaven above, heaven below, stars above, stars below, all that is over, under shall show. Happy who the riddle readeth. Happy who the riddle readeth. Who's the Freemason out there? You're cowards. And I'm here in front of you. How old are they now? My daughter's just turned 12 years old. If you want to go back and watch anything that I've spoken about, there's over 700 videos. And this is the last channel that was only created a year and a half ago. I've had 5 different YouTube channels shut down. I always have predators coming on here. You know this, there's one on just now who's always on. Serial hill killer. And he has no friends in real life like me, but he's trying to befriend me. But he's a predator who wouldn't be trusted with children, so myself and the serial hill killer are very different people. I mean, flesh, blood, sinew, blood thrown through our brains. If you can spit that one out. But the thing is, serial hill killer is not a real person he doesn't have a real face, he's not a real anything, he's a little fake coward, and more than likely, he's going to suffer. And he's going to have no one there when he does. I mean, although my children and I are suffering, we have people that love us. They might be wicked, be false like the serial hill killer. They might have fake profiles. Hey, young man! UFC. Are you a good fighter, UFC? Are you a UFC fighter? Yeah, I feel sorry for you. You're coming on my channel in my mother's house and telling me you feel sorry for me. You love me. Just gonna leave you to not away. Bye. See, I didn't have to get rid of you. The trash always throws itself out. And I know who you are. I know which police station you're in Barhead. And I know where you are. And you know that I know you. And we both understand, when I see you face to face, you're going to turn your eyes away from me. You're going to avert your gaze. Next time I see you, outside Asda, outside the foundry, you've popped back up. Just saying bye-bye. Oh, you've popped back up again. As soon as I explain who you are. You're the cowardly little police boy, aren't you? Have you hit the like button there as well? Goodbye. See you very soon, coward. I'll see you very soon, coward. Yeah, you know that I know. You know that I know. My poker face is too strong for you. You fake, abusive, predatorial coward. Is he 5'0"? He's a policeman. He tried to steal my DNA in a police station. I see him walking about with his family. I give him the benefit of the doubt, and I always be nice to anyone that has their partner and children there. Always. Bye, sir. Now you know. I know you. Coward. Coward. Aye, police. Aye. Police that we know, but he's a police Freemasonic lowlife scumbag. Police mother is an Eastern Star. Aye, police. You keep coming back up now that I've spoken, don't you? You were leaving, now you're popping back up. Is that your friends coming in as well? He's all out in the Glasgow station. Eh? Scumbags. Scumbags that are funded to try and terrorise fathers. You know, police are funded to terrorise fathers. You scumbags. You scumbags. Scumbag police. Predatorial scumbags. Now, the thing that I know, that most of these little boys were abused in childhood, and they become abusers. They've become abusers, like the women they're abusing. I'm still hanging around, because I know who you are. And I know I see you in the morning as well. I seen you with your cap on this morning. Didn't a policeman? The gang stalkers. The gang stalkers can never get me down. In our society, we have the local Catholic Church, we have the local Freemasons, and the Catholic Church runs all of these places, and they've got within pubs and places like that little fire exits for them, and little places they abuse and assault other people. And these brotherhoods threaten me all the time because I let people know that they're predatorial child abusing liars who are worse than women, who finger one another, suck off one another, and are disgusting, disgusting lowlives. These brethren brotherhoods bring disgrace upon any father. You bring disgrace upon any father. And now the police know I know who you are because I've just named one of you. And the guy round the corner, I'm sorry my friend, you have been nice and you've been trying to keep up the conversation, but I've spotted you. I spotted the wee police hat. Now if you're really trying to get me to feel bad in my life when I don't have anything left to live for, you know that you're not going to. Serial Hill Killer's back! You can't go because you love me, because you know I know. You little creep. Have a walk. Have a walk. You're a coward. The victims are safe as long as you stay in that little wee town. I'm not in a little wee town. I'm not in a little wee town. I know you're a coward. You're a coward. Cowardly Freemasonic lowlives. Your mother's an Eastern Star. You abused children, you little fanatical scumbag. You little predatorial scumbag. 27 grand a year to be this? You parasite. You lowlife parasite. Coming on my channel and try to be big on my channel when all you can do is be paid money to try and bully people in your hometown. You little scumbag parasite lowlife policeman. Policemen getting paid money to abuse the brethren in their own, the citizens in their own town. Policemen coming on here and talking absolute nonsense to fathers in the town. You useless policeman. You utter scumbag. You think you can come on as different characters, never showing your face, never actually doing anything real. Not any of you, not any of your fathers, not any of your decent figures. You're not monitoring nothing. You're a little parasite lowlife. You monitor nothing. Children are at fear you because you love making children afraid because you like the power, the same as any little effeminate feminist. Serial Hill Killer. You're going to have to love me and leave me. No, you've got orders, my friend. You've got orders because they've said he knows exactly who you are. He's going to pull you up in the street. He's going to get you. That's what they're going to say. Because anytime you attack a father, believe me, the attacker never forgets this. You are the attacker, and I'll never forget this. It's in your mind and it's coming to get you. It's going to get you because you attack fathers and their children, you little predatorial scumbags. It's time that we say prayers for fathers that actually take money to assault other people and children. You need to say prayers for these scumbags. This is Police Scotland. Police Scotland have a force to go out and make sure that fathers and children have no safety. They've got no right to safety and they do not feel safe. This is what police in the UK are funded to do. Not just the police that we fund to wreck children's life and abuse children. Not just the feminist, effeminate charities. It's not just the Freemasons and the Catholic cults. Oh my God, man. You are not Jason Bourne, pal. What's a Jason Bourne, pal? What are you on? You know that I have figured out who you are. You know that you're a little cowardly Freemasonic scumbag lowlife policeman with no friends that comes on here and attacks fathers that don't get to see their children because you want them to hang by the neck. You scumbag. You little rat. Buddy, watch the film. Buddy, watch the film Taken. What? Honestly, you are a child. You are a child. You've got the mind of a child. My goodness me. I'm not talking to a man or father. You're only showing yourself to be a further predatorial little knob cheese. You piece of scum. You would not give any child any safety, would you? You wouldn't give any father any decency. You wouldn't give any parent and family the right to be together. It's you hate that. I neglect you. No, you're neglecting the human race. You're neglecting human decency. You're neglecting the rights to family. You're neglecting human rights and basic humanity. You're a parasitical scumbag that gets paid off the state to abuse and assault children. You stop children from feeling safe, you monkey. And you think at any point you can get one up on me by watching Hollywood movies and the predators like you that take part in these Hollywood movies? You scumbag. I'm interested as well. We're going to need from tomorrow a different ideology when you're coming into this space, because fathers are parents too. That time after time we're getting the most stupid comments, and you can see that these are brain dead individuals that have obviously been abused as children. And I'm trying to show you that my children don't need to become the scum that you are. I wasn't abused as a child, so I'm not going to fall into being an abuser. But I can see this serial killer. I know he was abused, and I know that's why he's been an abuser. I don't want my children to be in the state where they've been held and abused so much in Poland that they've got nowhere to turn and they become abusers. Does that not make sense to any parent out there? Sorry. Like, to have this police presence is great. To have people believe they can gaslight fathers constantly and not receive that type of abuse back. Yous are making people face abuse every day, and you're going to remember that you are going to face this very same. You're not reaching out to help people, and remember that you're going to receive this the very same way. Police are funded in Scotland to abuse. Mothers are funded and charities are funded to kill off children. And the people coming on here want to kill off the remaining fathers that are left in this country. The only people that can protect you, the only people that can protect you from the illegal immigrants in this country. Remember James. James, do you remember James? Do you remember James? I remember 100 Jameses. And if you understand Gaelic Irish, then you'll know that James is Seamus. And Seamus is Joseph, or Shamus is Joseph in Irish, and they're very similar names. And my name's Joseph, or in Irish, Shamus. And Day is Dow, so my name is Shamus Dow. Now, I only use that when I'm playing Gaelic football, and that's my name on the football team sheet. But that was when I had teammates, and now my teammates are on here writing silly things, because if you came on here every morning, you would know my favourite breakfast is something called the Budwig Protocol, and it was devised by a biochemist called Dr. Johanna Budwig. And that's just another topic that's very important to me, because I believe children should be given the Budwig protocol as breakfast in morning in school every day. And we should assist our children in the same way as we used to assist people like myself in the past. I used to get milk. If anyone remembers milk time in school, I do think we should be feeding our kids, because right now, the last couple of generations have got no idea how to prepare food, how to cook food, or what real food is. In fact, I don't think any of the shops have real food these days. Beautiful eyes. Mother, you've got beautiful eyes. Anyway. I'll find one last thing before I go. I don't want to speak to you about the void, but I will talk to you about cancer. So if anyone you know has cancer out there, and you hear from the doctor it's 1,000 different diseases, it can be treated 1,000 different ways. Let me tell you, all cancers are very similar. They have a damaged mitochondria, and they need glucose and glutamine fermentation to drive the dysregulated growth. What was that, Joe? What we're saying is all cancers are very similar. They have a damaged mitochondria, and they need glucose and glutamine fermentation to drive the dysregulated growth. Now, I just told you, when you asked, what's your favourite breakfast, Joe? The Budwig Protocol, or Budwig Muesli. That is what you should be eating, and that's what our children should be eating. So they are healthy, happy, and they've got a good mental capacity. Because I wouldn't have one if I didn't have this breakfast every morning, and I recommend it highly. I do like the idea of eating Scottish breakfasts, rolls and sausage, bacon rolls and things like that every day, but they kill you. Whether it's brain cancer, pancreatic cancer, colon cancer, breast cancer, melanoma, it doesn't make any difference. They all have the same problem, so they are all the same. Yet cancer research funded charities, the NHS, the NIH and all the funded research facilities say cancer is 100 different diseases, and it's the same disease. That's how they killed my dad, and I guarantee you know someone that was killed with cancer. It's a single disease, and it's a metabolic problem. The Budwig diet has its roots in a phenomenon known as the Warburg effect. Now, this was discovered in 1931 by Nobel Prize winner, medical doctor and biochemist Otto Heinrich Warburg. Through his work on respiration, he discovered that in the absence of oxygen, cancer cells would metabolize sugar, which enabled them to multiply. It's one disease! In the same era, Dr. Johanna Budwig, for your Budwig Protocol, which I've just spoke about, another eminent German biochemist, she found that cold-pressed linseed oil, which is highly unsaturated and rich in omega-3s, it would carry oxygen into the cells to fight the cancer. She combined the linseed oil with quark or cottage cheese. I love both quark, cottage cheese and strained Greek yogurt. Use these things. So which is rich in superior based amino acids, and these combined with the omega-3s produce a more soluble, easily revitalized cells which oxygenates nutrients in the cells. Game over for cancer. So any of you police out there who continually assist in the killing of fathers via suicide, Scotland has the highest suicide rates just now. The highest. And not all of UK, or all of Europe. The highest suicide rates. And why? That's Amy Winehouse. Money gets you what you want with me. Money gets you what you want with me. That's a woman saying that. My ex-partner. Boyle. Boyle. As in Frankie. As in butt. What is Gorzhov Kapolsky? You've already been told. Now why am I doing this? I don't know, because I'm not using my data. I'm not using my data, so I'm using this. Last piece of knowledge in my wee book that's getting passed to my children. Children deserve time with their fathers. Ah, God help us. I just want to see my kids. I just want to see my kids. I want the people that hate me out there to know I don't hate you. I got upset like anyone quite quickly, but I couldn't have been more upset. I'm sorry that your kids were taken, pal. I am too. Wow, was Joseph the brother who got done by his other brothers? No, brothers stick together. You can't get done by a brother. That's just using the word brother, I guess, in the unsacred way. Brothers don't use and abuse one another. Oh, you use a pencil. I use whatever's in my hand. I'm going to go and cry. I'm going to go and make sure I go in the toilet, lock the door and cry. And make these eyes puffier than they are right now. You can come and slag me off tomorrow morning, I hope. I hope you make the journey serial hill killer. For those that have been nice, Bernadette Boyle, I can't imagine how I would feel if I lost my wee boy. He's my world, man. I don't know how you would feel if you lost him, because I no longer feel. This isn't really a feeling. This is just lost. I'm lost. I'm lost. I use a pencil because I'm an idiot. I write stuff down in paper because I'm an idiot and I want my children to read it at some point in the future and tell me they hate me. Everything they said about me when they said they hated me and Mummy told me that they had to hate me, that was all true. Mummy was right. They had a good reason to hate me. I'm a horrible, nasty man, and that's why I hate my daddy. My children are safe saying that for now. My children are safe saying that. Not one of them are teenagers. Ages together, they're not allowed to drink alcohol. God help these women abusing children. God help these fathers in Poland abusing kids. God help these priests being passed from church to church because they've abused and raped kids. God be with you, brother, too. And you, my sister, God be with you as well. I use colour and pencil too sometimes. You'll notice that all the drawings kind of look similar. I'm not saying they're any good, I'm saying they look similar. They look similar because this is the evil beast that's always in the front of my mind that stole my kids. The evil beast that called me a rapist. And I was idiot enough to forgive her. I feel that my life isn't worthwhile most of the time, but if I say that out loud in front of my mum, I break her heart and I hurt her feelings. And I say hundreds of things like that in front of my mum at times, and I shouldn't, but I cannot help it. Because she knows if she didn't have time with any of her children, she'd have been broken-hearted and probably wouldn't be here right now. She knows that. And I know that. And I know that every one of you out there could send a message to your Polish embassy saying, we understand that children are being abused. Let that Joe Scottish idiotic father, let that stinking horrible man see his kids, because then they'll learn to hate him. All you smart people out there, you know how horrible a man I am. So that means my children would have that knowledge being in front of me and they would get it for themselves. My dad's a fool. My dad's a fool. Yeah, you might say, bro, you need help. I'm sitting with the people that love me right now. I'm sitting with the people that help me. Clifford, I hope you've got someone with you. I hope you've got someone with you. I hope you're happy in your life. We all need help. For anyone to put he needs help, every one of us needs help right now. Our children need help. Come only through the Lord Jesus Christ. God bless you, brother. Say your morning prayers, because every day I say them and I ask to be with my children. I ask to have time with my children. Psychopaths, as you see, psychopaths carry out the lunatic's thought, while the rest of us just think them. I don't go to any church buildings. My church is the people, like you, who believe themselves to be the body of Christ. I believe you're my church. I don't need a big building that hides and protects rapists. They hide and they protect paedophiles. Church buildings are only buildings. They're nothing more than a building. But when good people, the good people of God, get together, then we become something. We become something when we get together. But on this right now, it's about breaking people apart. People are paid to break you down and mock you. I'm not taking any mick. If you want to come on and speak to me face to face about taking the piss or doing the wrong thing, like there, I use soft profanity from time to time and I feel bad. I feel bad every day for fathers and mothers that don't get to spend time with their children. There's even loving mothers and fathers out there that don't get to spend time with their children. I'm doing this because I know when I hang up, there's going to be about 1,000 people that's watched this. If I put out this type of child abuse, it gets seen by 100 people at the very, very most. I couldn't care less if you want to make fun of me. I don't care if you want me to end my life and it will make you feel happy. I don't care if you're going to get any fun by belittling me or preying on me and my children. My children can't be preyed upon anymore. They're being bullied and abused in Poland by feminists, by the Catholic cult abusing them. If you want to say things to me, go ahead and say it. Characters will always appear in your life. Abusive characters will always show. It's easier to be an abuser. Right now I'm just showing you a piece of paper which when I sit on coaches and buses or sit alone, I can scribble things in here rather than flicking through YouTube and watching idiots like me talking nonsense like this. I don't need to listen to idiots like me, because I've got a whole list of other fathers that stick up for me and check that I've not topped myself. And do you know what? Not one of those people I'm mentioning, not one are family or who I would call friends. Not one would phone me and see I'm safe. But I do have people from YouTube, fathers from YouTube, that contact me to check that I'm still alive. So it's not just about family, because they won't bother if you don't bother. If you've hurt their feelings, they won't bother if you're breathing or not. The donkey.
If you want me to hurt myself, that's on you. I don't want any of you to hurt yourself. If I seen you try to hurt someone, especially a child, I would attack you. And it wouldn't take me much to attack you if I seen you hurt a child. But I think most of you are born and funded predators. You don't care about family, you don't care about the rights of fathers, and you certainly don't care about the safety of children. If people on here do care about the safety of children, they'll hit that like button. They will subscribe, and they'll come on and watch the stuff from the past. The stuff that I've done in the past, it's been viewed once or twice. Lots of the stuff's not been viewed at all. I'm never going to have a YouTube channel that makes money because I talk about the abuse of children. And I will sing 500 miles for you if you look after and be good to children. So, without further ado, I'll let you mock me and my appearance one last time. You can mock my hair, you can mock my old man face, you can mock the fact that I'm orange. But I love all of these things about me. I mean, all the hate that I've received in life, I've learned to love who I am. I couldn't care less if you want to put me down. And I know if you do or show any hate towards me, it's because you hate yourself. And we always sign off with a little song. And someone just asked for 500 miles. And I do want to give them 500 miles. But the last time I got a warning from YouTube for playing music. So you can join in with this one. If you've ever known or heard of the movie Stir Crazy, it's got Gene Wilder, or Gene Hackman, or Gene Wilder. Anyway, I can't remember. But it's a great song, it's a great theme tune. And thank you. But you can join in, and you can enjoy it. Way to be.
If you think I'm this,
Imagine all the
you can be separated from those in the whole world I love so much and love me.
Crazy, crazy.
I'm happy.
Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I got a feeling deep inside they all would like to be just like me. Crazy, crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Once in a while, why don't you set yourself free? It's only
I love you so much.
reality.
I never stop thinking about you. Every